Hi everyone, this is Barbara C. Phillips from NursePractitionerBusinessOwner.com, and today I have another Nurse Practitioner business tip, and this comes from issue number 13 from Progress Notes about quality improvement. One of the things that we as a business owner are really looking to do is to improve. I like the term Kaizen because Kaizen is like a continuous improvement. In the general sense, it means more of business as well as personal, so it fits us. And one of the reasons that we, of course, want to improve is because of marketing. We want to build our businesses. And the most important aspect of marketing, the most important kind of marketing out there is word of mouth marketing. Our patients talk, they talk to one another. All of us do this. We ask for social proof every time that we turn around. What movie did you go to? How did you like that movie? What restaurant do you recommend? Who do you see? Who does your pap smears? I don't know where to go. And we're always looking for recommendations from somebody else. That is word of mouth marketing, and we need that social proof that somebody else is going there. Think about it. If you see two restaurants side by side, one has a line, one has nobody in it, you're going to automatically assume that that one with the line has great food, whereas the one that is empty is not so great, and you're probably not going to want to go there. So this is really important. So why are we going to survey our patients? Well, when we ask them face to face, they may not give us an honest feedback. They might be a little bit shy about telling us something that might not be perfect. Our patients love to tell us how much they love us, but we need a little more input than that. So a survey gives them a way to anonymously tell us what they're thinking. Now we can use on these surveys, to make it real easy, rating scales 1 to 5, poor to excellent. We can check all that will apply, and use some multiple choice, but always, always, always include some space for some comments, because we'll learn a lot of information in that way. What kind of questions can we ask our patients? Well, these are just suggestions, so you want to look and see what is going to fit for your practice, but these are things that I hear over and over again. Wait time is probably number one. I know of people that are waiting hours and hours for appointments once they've already been in the waiting room. So that's really unacceptable in my opinion. But anyway, ask them about wait time. How long did it take to get their appointment? How long were they in the waiting room? How long were they in the exam room before they were seen? How long did they have to wait in the exam room for things to finish up after the provider has been done with them? Those sorts of questions. What about courtesy? Now a lot of these comes down to how the patient perceives it. So, do they perceive the staff as being courteous? Do they perceive the provider as being courteous? How clean is the office? And I can't believe how often I hear this as well. The cleanliness of the office, the waiting room, the restrooms. I really didn't understand where a lot of this came from. Fortunately, I think I've had some really good experiences, but recently I've been in two different offices that I would not take my enemy into, just because they were very chaotic. They did not appear to be clean at all. So these are things that you want to ask. You do not want to be known for having a dirty office. How do your patients perceive the quality of care that they received from you? This is really important as well, and particularly that perceived. Somebody can have the best, most appropriate, evidence-based care in the world, but if they do not perceive that they got good care, if they don't perceive that you actually cared about them, something we as NPs are really good at, they're not going to view that as being good care. Look at the date and time of their appointment, and this kind of goes with office availability a little bit, but if somebody has to work every day until 5, they have a hard time getting time off for appointments and stuff, and your appointment that you could give them was Thursday at 2 o'clock, well, that's going to be hard for them, and that gives them a hardship. So do you have a lot of people that are actually looking like, or are requesting appointment times, say, 8 o'clock on Tuesdays or 10 a.m. on Saturdays or something like that. So you want to have a gauge on that. You also want to know that people perceive your office as being able to handle their confidential information. This is really important, particularly with our HIPAA laws out there. And financial issues, again, a biggie because you're talking about somebody's money. So do they think that you're billing the insurance company appropriately? Are their co-pays being collected? Are they being asked to give you another copay when they come to the front desk? How are the billing procedures? I had someone in just the other day because we've just changed our billing to a new biller and a new system, and they were rather confused about that. So these are really important questions that you may want to consider, but again, you'll probably want to come up with some of your own. Now, in addition to this, you're also going to want to probably ask these three questions. How are you likely to utilize our services again? So in other words, are they happy enough to come back and see you again? How likely are you to recommend our services to others? This goes directly into that word of mouth that we were talking about in the beginning. And then what additional suggestions? So that open-ended question, and we can learn a lot of things that we didn't even think about from patients. So this is really, really good. So one of the things that you want to do at the end of that survey is thank them for participating. We really need to be appreciative. They've taken their time, they've taken their energy to go ahead and fill out that survey. And, show your gratitude. You can thank them. Maybe have some coupons or, something available. I have a gift here. We don't often gift our patients, but maybe some special little health related information that they can pick up for taking the survey type of a thing, or not. It just depends on your office and how you like to do these things. So how can you administer the survey? There's a couple of different things that you can do. Now, the easiest, of course, is just have the forms sitting out in the waiting room and a locked collection box to pick them up. But people aren't likely to do that, and that's going to be one of your lowest returns. Now, when somebody comes to your front window, your receptionist can hand them a survey, ask them if they'd like to participate, and point them to the collection box that is waiting for them in the waiting room. You can also have a collection box in the exam room. Now, the issue of having it in the exam room and maybe even handing them a survey in the exam room is that people may not feel that it's going to be that anonymous, so you may not get a good return there. We can always hand them a survey and give them a self-stamped address envelope to turn it back in, and for many people this probably won't work so well, but you can certainly try it. But many, say a mom going home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the kids are going to be there, they're going to be hungry, the dog needs to get out, the cat has knocked over something, the house next door is on fire, her partner is due home and wants dinner at any given time. So there's so many things going on that our survey is not important to them at that point. So think about that. One of the tools that I have actually used in the past for surveys is www.surveymonkey.com, and it's an online service. It is free. It is easy enough for you to set up your survey. You can have multiple choices. You can have open-ended boxes. You can have rating scales, and it's very, very easy to use. And the easiest way to get people there is you have a link on your website. You do have a practice website, don't you? So go ahead and use surveymonkey.com. Now that you've gathered all of that information, what are you going to do with it? Well, you're going to pay attention to the results. What did you learn from it? What changes that were brought up that need to be made can you actually make? Let patients know that you heard them. Post your results somewhere. Put it on your website. Put a sign up in the waiting room. Have a little book that has some of the results in it. And then start implementing some of those changes. Of course, you're not going to do everything all at once, and some of it may not even be appropriate. But, start implementing the changes, start getting a little feedback. It works really well that way. People love to see that their suggestions have been taken. We all do. You want to repeat this whole process on a regular, ongoing basis. Now, if you have your surveys in say they're in the waiting room, and they're there all the time. Well, like anything, if we're looking at it all the time, we become blind to it. So you may want to make this an event, say at the end of the year, say, hey, we want to do a survey, see how we did this year, or just before the start of the school year, for instance. Pick a date, pick a time, do it a couple times a year, make an event out of it. So that's our NP Business tip for today. If you want more tips, please go ahead and sign up for Progress Notes. You'll find a sign up at www.nursepractitionerbusinessowner.com. And of course, I invite you to visit our blog at www.npbusiness.org. There's lots of information there. That site's been up for a few years. You can search the site to find almost anything that you'd like to, and of course you can contact me through either one of these sites. Again, this has been Barbara Phillips with npbusiness.businessowner.com, and thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.